So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 5 fastest ways to improve on controller in the new OG Fortnite. Now you might be watching this thinking, why should we listen to you? I've never seen your channel, I don't know how good you are, why should we take tips from you? Well, basically I'm in Unreal ranked as a controller player on European servers, and as you guys know, EU is the hardest server to play on, and I reach Unreal rank pretty comfortably playing solos all the way. I'm also very known for my controller mechanics on YouTube. I have a lot of montages where they've gotten thousands of views and people are very impressed by the way I play. So I think I'm qualified to give you guys tips on how to improve on controller. So before we get into it, if you guys found the video helpful, please subscribe and notifications turned on, like the video, comment down below what you want to see next, and also if you guys are interested in Call of Duty videos, I have a second channel, you guys can check it out in the description, as well as my TikTok. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, first of all, we're going to be talking about the way you play on controller. If you're non-claw or paddles, or you play regular controller, or if you play scuf. So I'm going to give you guys the best things now, and you need to stick to these that I'm telling you right here. The first thing is that you should not play with regular grip on a regular controller with no paddles. That is the worst thing that you can do. I know a lot of people say, oh, I'll play non-claw, no paddles, like it's a flex, but it's one of the worst things that you can do, especially now when like keyboard players are crazy good. You have to improve on controller. It's as simple as that. So what I would recommend you guys doing is you have your regular PlayStation 4 controller or PlayStation 5 or whatever controller you have, and you buy attachable paddles, which is what I have. I play with paddles and I play with non-claw. If you guys are wondering the exact paddles I have the PS4 paddles attachment, and I use the regular PS4 DualShock controller on PC. Now you can get paddles on Xbox controllers and PlayStation 5 controllers, so there's no issue. You just do your research and you buy it. They're about $30 to $50 max, and I know it's, you know, it costs money, but it's like, it's something that's gonna make you way better. As soon as I got paddles and I started getting used to them, boys, I became so good I could like 1v1 keyboard players and literally beat them. So I would recommend you guys getting paddles. If you guys are already used to playing claw, then stick to claw, that's fine, but I don't recommend going from non-claw, no paddles to just claw, because claw grip can mess up your hands, and it happened to Ghost Issa. If you guys know the controller player back in the day, his hands actually got hurt and now he can't play Fortnite anymore because he used to play claw. So I don't recommend playing claw, I just recommend playing non-claw with paddles. The binds that I have for my paddles are, my right paddle is my switch mode and my left paddle is my jump. So I don't have to move my thumbs from the sticks, because my left stick is also my edit button, which means I don't have to lift my thumb off my sticks at any time, and that is how I'm so fast, smooth on controller playing non-claw, boys. So that's the secret to how I can play without looking stiff, and I know a lot of you guys have been wondering this for a long time, and I'm very sorry that it didn't come out earlier, but now I just told you. Also, when you play with paddles for the first time, it's going to feel very weird, but you're going to have to stick to it, grind it, play every day, and you need to get used to paddles because it's the best investment I have ever made in Fortnite. And I played this game since it came out, and the best thing I've ever done is to play with paddles. Literally paddles, boys, okay? Trust me, get them if you can. Now the second tip of the video is that you need to play with the intent of getting better. So what do I mean by this? So the first thing that I need to tell you guys, so when I used to be bad at the game, I used to play and I used to sit in an awkward position. I didn't really care too much, you know, I was just vibing, just playing the game for fun. But if you actually want to improve, you better make sure that you play with no music on, you sit with a straight back on your gaming chair, or you know, if you sit on the couch or whatever you play, you need to have a comfortable position that you sit and you can concentrate. So every time you play a 1v1, even if it's a warm-up, you need to literally try your best to win the 1v1. I know it might be a warm-up, but that's how you're gonna get good at the game, boys. So every time you get on the game, whatever you play, if it's box fights, 1v1, ranked, pubs, you need to have the intent of getting better. You need to have the intent of being the best in the lobby, otherwise you will never improve. Because if you just sit there and just enjoy the game, how are you really gonna improve when everybody else are just on a different type of level? You need to challenge yourself and you need to just work hard on it. And I know it sounds very corny and cheesy, but please, boys, if you have a gaming chair, whatever you sit on, just have a straight back, you know, have your arms tucked in, hold the controller tight, and just focus on the game and actually try to get better, and you will see huge improvements. And I know it just sounds pretty like, you know, corny, but it's actually gonna help you out a lot. The third tip on how to improve on controller is that you need to stop camping, boys. Okay, so I know that if you are on controller, it's very uncomfortable to fight people in ranked, because a lot of players, you know, they play on keyboard, and you know, controller versus keyboard is very difficult to win fights. But I'm gonna give you guys a couple of tips now to improve in this third tip. The first thing you need to understand is that ranked is not a mission to reach Unreal. What rank is just a system to place you in the rank that you deserve to be in. So you play against people in your level. So let's say you're in Diamond right now. You should stop camping with the intention to reach Unreal rank, and I'll tell you why. So I want all of you guys to imagine this, right? If you're struggling in the rank you're in currently and you want to reach Unreal rank, right? And you're camping your way through it, what are you actually doing in Unreal when you achieve it? You know, because Unreal was the most difficult rank. So what are you gonna do when you've been camping the whole time trying to get there, and the lobbies are just so sweaty you can't do anything? It's the wrong approach, boys. Trust me. What you need to do is that you need to W key everybody in your lobby with confidence. You need to have confidence when you fight. Don't be scared of anybody. If you lose percentage, you know, you should be fine with that. You should just improve at W keying, and then after a couple of weeks, a couple of months, when you get good enough to reach Unreal without struggling, then that's the rank for you. If you look at Mr. Savage and Mongrel this season, they reach Unreal after a couple of days of the game being out because they're good enough for Unreal rank. But if you're not good enough for it, you should stick in your rank and just try to W key and improve against your own level until you get better than them. Even Faze Mongrel back in chapter 2 gave a tip saying that the one thing to improve on any device, right, is to have confidence, never be scared when you enter a fight. And that's something I've taken since chapter 2 all the way here. So if I'm seeing somebody in the lobby, right, I know I'm a controller, so I know when I'm playing in EU, most likely most people will be on keyboard, right? I'm not scared of anybody. If I lose a fight, fair play. I might rage, it just happens, right? But you need to W key to improve, and that's the only way to get good at the game. Now we're getting into the fourth tip of the video. So we all know that keyboard players have an advantage over controller players when it comes to mechanics and how fast they edit. So we need to make sure as controller players that our mechanics and game sense are on point and maximized. So how do we do this? Basically, you need to play creative all day. If you look at players like Miro, Faceway, all these super, mechanical controller players, what do all day? They play creative 1v1s, zone wars, they play piece control maps. These things are gonna make you better at fighting. So you need to make sure that you play creative every single day. And there's so many practice maps in Fortnite Discovery. If you scroll down when you launch the game, you find so many maps on how to improve. And also you need to use the second tip of the video when you're practicing, is that you need to play with the intent of getting better. So when you mix these two tips together, you're gonna see huge improvements after just a few weeks of playing, boys. So make sure you play a lot of creative 1v1s, matchmaking, zone wars, and a lot of piece control maps. The way I got so good at the game was that I used to play a lot of piece control maps, Raiders maps, for example, and they made me so good at the game. Now the final tip of the video is going to be one of the most important tips, is when you find your right sensitivity, you need to stick to that sensitivity forever. So when you look at somebody like Reed or who's on controller, and even Booga, and I know Booga's on keyboard for example, but both of those guys have explained in their live streams before that they have stuck to their settings for years playing this game and they never change it, and that's how they're so consistently good. So if you guys are wondering what my sensitivities are on controller, these are basically my sensitivities. You guys can pause it and look through it. But basically, if you don't know what sensitivity you should have, you should try mine out and then you just tweak them a little bit. You can remove the boost if you don't like boost. I prefer boost. You can change the build mode a little bit. But once you find a sensitivity that feels right at the moment of playing it, you need to stick to it for as long as you can, because those settings are going to be your best friend. Changing settings like every month or every week is gonna make sure your progress slows down a lot. You need to get used to one thing and then just stick to it. That's why I said with the first tip, when you play with paddles, you need to stick to paddles even though it's difficult at the beginning of learning it, right? So that's just something you have to stick to and grind it out. I'm gonna give you guys a bonus tip if you made it this far, so you guys are lucky if you made it this far. But I would recommend you guys playing against people that are good at the game. So stop playing against friends that are really bad, that are hindering you from progressing in the game. Of course you can have fun with your friends, but you should play against people and with people that are as good as you and even better. So you guys can go on Twitch or Twitter and just find people that play Fortnite that are actually good in clips, for example, and then you just go and 1v1 them, you play ranked with them. And if you guys are, at a similar level, it will be easier to progress than playing with people that are worse than you. So that's just a bonus tip that I have in the video. But if you made it this far, comment go. I want to see who's a real grinder and really wants to improve. And also like the video, subscribe and notifications turned on. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.